Y'all ready to get started? Ready to get started? 12 o'clock. So y'all are not going to be able to hear me on this microphone, but it's not working in here for some reason, but Zoom can hear me. So I'm not holding it for no reason. So real quick, let's do 7 high fives, hugs, fist pumps, whatever you want to do. Everybody get up and get after it. Hey, Jason. Do it with all your food in your mouth. Do it with food in your mouth. Hey, friend. Thank you. 3, 4, 5, 6. My man Wooten, give me a hug. 6. What's happening, buddy? I need another one. Hey, hey. Funny how that just changes everything in the room. Thank you, Jason, for that idea. All right, so what's first? Bucket fills, gratitudes, wins. Bucket fills and gratitudes. Who's got some? Yes.
Answering every time we call, being available, having the answers. Thank you, Jason.
Thank you, Jason. Cindy?
Guess who's back? My assistant. Now the listing contest is a big whoop. Get ready.
Enemies sitting at the same table.
My bucket fill is for Christy. For on Saturday, she helped us put up some signs and she made an executive decision and it helped a lot. So thank you so much for doing that.
Thank you. Thank you. Yep. Coming back.
I'd like to say thank you to Jeff Ricks for giving me a call, give me a heads up on something that I needed right away.
People helping people.
Like to thank those that are joining the Zoom call 8:30 for script practice and role play. The numbers are actually starting to pick up a little bit.
Like it.
So hopefully they're getting as much out of it as I am.
Spreading, text your friends, invite them on. Christy May.
Thank you, Cindy Dudley, for making my life easier by reminding me of Genius Scan. It's genius.
So I'll tell the story. So I'll walk out by the copier machine and Christy May is in World War III with it. And it's eating paper and all kinds of stuff. And she's saying things that are against my religion. And Cindy Dudley comes walking by. She was like, oh my God, you don't know about Genius Scan. And then she downloaded Genius Scan and then her whole life got changed. So if you don't know what Genius Scan is, you pay what, like $4 or it's free. You can scan, get it right now. It is. And it takes a square picture of it and it puts it in a PDF file. You can email it wherever you want to go. That's right. What else? Bucket fills, gratitudes. Anything? Going once, going twice? Okay.
This is a personal request. My sister had surgery this morning to remove a lymph node. This is my sister that had cancer last year and went through treatments. And just say a special prayer that her biopsy comes back with no further treatment necessary.
Definitely on that. Anybody else? Yep.
I have one for Jason. It is awesome having such a caring, connected broker in charge that I don't feel like I'm coming with like something like I'm in trouble. It is so awesome having Jason as a big, killing it, dude.
Thank you, Jason.
I have one for Demetrius. I think Demetrius jumped right in. I know with my interactions with him, he's eager to learn. He's very open and receptive, and he's creating to-do lists and checklists, and we're just having a casual conversation. And the next day he'll say, "Did you do X, Y, and Z?" And I'm like, "Whew, where was that? Thank you so much." So I appreciate it.
So for those of you who missed the last meeting or was unaware, Dimitri Sawyers is now on staff and he is working at the Hillsborough front desk full-time. And he's also assisting Jason with his big duties. So he has been a massive hire. Anybody else? Bucket feels gratitudes. Good. Everybody good? Good. Next. Red Day, May 11th, sign up now. If you haven't signed up, do we know what we're doing yet? Or are we still taking?
Couple of projects happening. There's an actually, Jamie, actually, her family owns a road cleanup section. It's the bill, so that could be a few bucks to go over and do that. That's lighter workload, not as physical as the other things. There are 4 schools that have requested some type of level of assistance. And then there's a couple of seniors that are out there that like some landscaping stuff. Here's the thing, unless you sign up, we don't know what we can commit to. Because I don't know how many people.
I'm gonna repeat it. I'm gonna repeat it.
Yeah,
So
I don't know how many
repeat it
people we can get to each site. So once you sign up, your sign up is the holdup for us to make a decision.
Yeah, unless you sign up, the culture committee can't commit to what activity they're going to participate in. And there's road cleanage is an option. School beautification is an option, and senior assistance is for landscaping outside is an option. So sign up for Red Day so we can get an accurate head count and divide and conquer. And all of those projects, for those on Zoom who are listening in, all of those projects involve mowers and landscaping. So if you have any vendor relationships in that area, shoot us the contact and we can get them involved too. Next, PB&J training center every Thursday at 10. I hear that has been going very well. Good. Next. Top 20% Zoom call. So if you're in the top 20%, you know you're in the top 20%. You've received an email from me with the Zoom link for that. That is every Friday from 2 to 3. We've done it 3 weeks in a row so far, and it's been fantastic. I've enjoyed it thoroughly, and people are shooting ideas all over the place, and it's been great learning together. Next. Glad You Asked is under construction. We're going to completely revamp it and might even rename it. Jason's working on that. And now for our sponsor. First of all, thank you for the food. And Sawyer Exterminated, if you want to come up and do your deal, we're ready for you. And if you'll just use this so the Zoom can hear you. Yeah, perfect.
Thank you so much. Marty Stadler with Sawyer Exterminating. I know a lot of folks here, but if you don't, we are actually part of Northwest Exterminating. If you'll go ahead and load up our presentation here. We're out of Northwest Atlanta. Marietta, Georgia is where our office is, but we cover from North Carolina to Florida, Alabama, even some of Mississippi here. So what I want to do today is, well, three legs of our business tool is pest control, termite control, crawl-space moisture control. So as y'all as agents, the things we look at for y'all as far as a pest control company or any pest control company, usually the WDIR reports, termite inspections, and then after the home inspection, if it's a vented crawl space, as far as the issues to control the moisture in the crawl space too. What I want to do today is talk a little bit about termites. We are still in termite season, and my goal for you today is to understand why, if your client is a buyer or a seller, why it's important to have or continue to have termite protection for your home here as we are in the termite belt. So yeah, go ahead and go to the next slide here. We know the WDR report, the first insected list as far as what is for an insect is termite. So if we go to the next, this is the termite family. if termites drove an SUV, this would be on the back window here. The worker, thank you, Joe. The workers, they're the ones that eat the wood. They eat 24 hours a day, 365 days. They never stop. They slow down a little bit in the winter there, but they eat all the time. The soldiers, basically, they protect the colony. They really protect the colony from ants. Ants and termites, a little bit like the Hatfields and McCoy. That's an old reference. You younger folks, Google it for that. The swarmers, we are in swarmer season. If the weather will ever determine if it's going to be winter or summer, we are in swarmer seasons. And this will be the only part of this insect family you will see above ground. When this is the time of year when they come out by the thousands, and their only goal, quite frankly, is to hook up, fall back to the ground, and start a new colony. We call these termites on Tinder here. So, but I have all of our tippuators. The queen, we know what she does. The king, we know what he does. One thing too, kind of interesting, undisturbed, they will live for about 10 to 15 years. That's very unusual in the termite colony. Yeah, just the king and queen for that. Let's go to the next slide, please. These are termites. Termites are really small insects. They're kind of pale. In that picture, you see a swarmer with the wings. You can see a soldier down here with the long mandibles. There's actually one that's going to become, as they might become a swarmer. And that's the pictures, but you'll never see them crawl across the floor or anything. Next slide here. These are termite tubes. I'm gonna try to get a little close. You see the dirt. Termites need moisture. They'll never go across your kitchen counter. Yes. They will be, when they're born, they are born to become a soldier. Although there's one thing that's going to happen. I'll get it maybe a little bit here. Yes, yeah, but it's born and it's okay. You're soldiers, and that how the queen knows how to do this, I really don't know. But anyway, they'll come up from the ground into the wood. If you see in the back there, this is in a garage. You see where the paint has been popped off? They actually got into the sheetrock and ate the paper off the back end of the sheetrock. But that pressure, just a little bit of pressure. So if we see, we as inspectors, we see where paint is chipped, then we're going to look for that area too. Let's go for the next one here too. It's a good picture of termite tubes and termite damage. One thing real quick, termite damage, termites only eat with the grain. They'll never go across the grain. But we as inspectors, we want to see if there's that mud in that damage, because especially around garage doors, is it termite damage? Is it moisture damage? If it doesn't have the dirt or the mud, more likely moisture damage, especially on garage door frames at the bottom here. Next slide here too. This is in a crawl space. You see actually from the ground up into the wood. Hey, they like this. And so they're actually, what they're doing is bringing return tubes down to the bottom. So they'll actually go one way in and one way out to be very efficient. Termite tubes really aren't that big unless, go to the next slide. They've been there for a while. This house had a little bit of damage. What happens is termites kind of just go around, these colonies go around all the time. They're about 50,000 in a unit. And then once they get to this and they find, hey, this is a pretty good place to eat, they'll go into hyperdrive as far as the queen laying eggs. Some of the workers will actually transfigure and start laying eggs as well too. And then they'll balloon to almost 500,000. And when they quit eating that wood, they're like, hey, no need to lay all these eggs. And they'll go and leave that and go on to the next. Go to the next slide real quick, please. This is termite damage in hardwoods. They don't like to be exposed because we dry them out, but it's hard to see there, but there's actually mud inside those holes there. And we know this was termite damage here. The next slide. Everyone says this time of year, is it ants or is it swarmers? The easiest way to tell, just if you're bending down looking over, if you see a waist, it's an ant. It's 3 sections. Termites, swarmers look like just have a head and a body. Let's go to the next one here too. These are swarmers. Let's go one more. This is a picture I took a house in Durham. The owner was like, I'm doing some remodeling. I know I've had termites before. I want to see if they're all gone. As we're talking, he said, look at this. And here they come. And they go from 0 to 60 in half a second. And they come out by the thousands. And in about a minute and a half, they're gone. Here. When you're swarmed, that colony is matured. It takes about 5 years for a colony to mature. They've been there at least 3 years, most likely 5 years in that structure before they will swarm here too. Let's go to the next slide. This is why it's important for your clients, whether the buyer or sellers, to have termite protection. We are in the heavy termite pressure section of North Carolina. NC State did a study in an acre of land. you're going to have between 20 and 25 colonies. They're just everywhere. If a house is unprotected, quite frankly, it's not a matter of if it gets attacked, it's going to win. It gets attacked. And they may never be seen until you push, and I've had this happen, unfortunately, you push on a wall and your finger goes through. And it can happen for that too. So what's the next slide, or is that it? Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. My show and tell. These are the stations that not just we use, but most people use. Here's what's nice about these things. The termiticide we used to use, the liquid termiticide we put in the ground, was very effective. If you remember, I said only the workers eat the woods. They feed the rest of the colonies. We can use that science behind it to say, hey, you know what? They're going to pick up termiticide and going to take it back to the rest of the colony as well and do colony elimination. The termiticide that was in the ground will break down. It's 100% effective day one, and then after about 5 to 7 years, you don't know what's left. And so what's different about this, and after we go back after 7 years, you have to do another termite treatment. With these, whoever uses these, whether it's us or any other company uses these, what you do is you pull the core out every time you come out on an annual basis. And then if it needs to be replaced, because you can actually see how much termiticide is left in there, we will replace it so that homeowner has continuous protection going forward. This is, I call the liquid termiticides the blockbusters of yesteryears. They worked, they were fine. This is Netflix. This is what everyone's going to here. And one more, is that it? Oh, one thing too, these are so strong. Even if a house is eaten with termites, by the North Carolina Structural Pest Control Committee, which is our governing body, even if they have active termites, we only have to put these in and that's it. We'll do a little bit more, but if you'll slide through, this is all go through one more time. These are all the things you have to do if you're using liquid termiticides. And one more, basically it says, if you're using this, which is provide protection for the whole structure as these do, and the house is under warranty. 2 warranties that most companies offer is a retreat warranty. If termites return, we retreat that area for no charge. For most existing homes, that's very common. For newer homes with Centricon or other baiting stations, you can actually put $1 million guarantee if there's any damage, or repair up to $1 million. They are that strong for that. So next slide. And that's it. Any quick questions? I'll hang around here too, but any quick questions? Yes. That have had termites or will have that, the 90%. Yeah. I met a gentleman here in Alamance County, and to be honest, knowing his accent, he was either being hired by Elon University or LabCorp. Didn't know about termites. And he said, what percentage will have termites? I said, have had or will have? I said, 99%. He was shocked. 20 to 25 colonies an acre of land. They're going to find it sooner or later, especially if there's any leaks. And how many times have you seen in y'all's business where they're doing some remodeling, and especially in the bathroom, and there's a small leak? They'll find the wet wood for that. So any other quick questions? Mm-hmm. We do it every 10 feet. The label says every 20 feet. We like to do every 10 feet around just to have extra protection. They can actually be even 50 feet away from the structure. So if there is a deck, a pool or something, you can go out to 50 feet. There is the gray in here. That is the termiticide. It is a waxy substance. It's an insect growth regulator. They eat it. It is actually a bait. And what's interesting about this actually gets stronger the longer it's in it, because it becomes kind of wet and damp, and they like that stuff. And they'll bring it back to the colony and feed everyone. And if they can't molt, they'll die. And the younger ones, as you saw in that picture, the younger ones can't molt, they'll die. They cannot feed the older insects. And so within a week or two, you'll have colony elimination. Every year. That is why if you look on the label, yeah, we come out and inspect it every year. Yes, that's right. Yep. Yep. So that's what you do. You do an annual inspection. No, we didn't. Yes, sure.
Safe to say that you control it, but you'll never eliminate it?
You'll exactly. I'll just tell you this, there are companies that do this. They may go out, like in my house, here's my house, and I've got a fence with mulch over here. I'll find termites over here, and they'll come back and say, oh my gosh, you got termites. And, well, if they're out in the yard, it does not necessarily mean they're at their house, but just understand that what you want to do is protect the house. Don't worry about trying to protect the whole yard. You'll never do that. But it's a protection for the house. Yeah, hit him over the head with it and it'll be good. Yes, ma'am. these are exterior only. So all around. They're about every 10 to 20 feet around it. So they can be buried. If a homeowner buries them with mulch on top, we basically have like a metal detector comes find them. Yes. Yes, Tammy. Whoever, growing up here, we didn't have fire ants, but now we do. And it is a program. We have a control, and that's what I tell folks. We've changed our protocol. We used to try to eliminate everything. And then we come, it's very expensive, and then come back in 6 months later, because guess what? The neighbors have them and they'll come over there. It is quarterly pest control is the best way to do it. And it's just basically treating the yard for fire ants. It's a control program, not elimination. Yes, Cindy. Oh. Yeah. For this, it's usually somewhere around the $325 a year. So to be honest, with the bait stations, it's a little less on the installation compared to what the liquid treatment used to be, a little more in the annual service, because we and every company's doing more. You're checking it, and also you're checking it, mark it, and you also have to record it if there's activity and then replace as necessary. Any other questions? I'll hang around for that. Well, we thank you so much, and thank you for your business.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but you can use Sawyer Exterminating to have a property checked out. They did it with a property that I was interested in without having to pay for it unless you want to report. Is that correct?
Yeah, the report's $75. We charge $75 for WDR. Yeah.
Wonderful. Marty's grateful. He'll return your phone call. I'll answer your phone.
He's the goat.
The goat.
Thank you. I'll hang out here.
Thank you so much. I was just saying back there, that was one of the most fascinating sponsors we've had in a long time. So we need to you just keep bringing sandwiches every other week and teach us something new about bugs. Yeah. All right, Daniel Miller.
All right, so mine's gonna be pretty quick. It's a reminder to use your command app. Some upcoming classes. There's been some updates with Connect and design updates to kind of illustrate these. They do just keep advancing your command app. So do download the command app on your phone, especially everybody that's doing the some of your DT, D2s, things that are popping up, notifications for you to be able to do. That command app's really going to help you out on your phone, so you don't have to switch back and forth between your computer all the time. For anybody that's interested in deep diving into DocuSign, if let's say you're currently using .loop, or if you just feel like you're not really utilizing DocuSign to its full potential, there's a 2-session training that's available. I have the QR code up there. You can also find it, I'll show you here in a second. You can do a search for DocuSign in the Connect part of command. Let's see. And those are live classes, by the way. It's KWRI, but it's going to be live classes via Zoom, of course. Also with that, KW continues to advance the Connect part of command. So please start using that as much as possible. Again, like if you didn't catch the QR code for DocuSign, just hit that little Connect button that's up there. Whenever you're in command, search for DocuSign, and those classes would show up, as well as lots of documents on how to use DocuSign and such. Same kind of vein with things. There's a shift class that's going on with the 4 proven lead gen tactics to thrive in the current market. Same thing, just do a search for that. In Connect. And those are the time and dates that are available right now. And lastly on mine, if you're somebody that's looking for some designs, maybe do like a quick little Facebook post or Instagram post, something like that. There have been some updates to the designs for this month. So if you haven't done Cinco de Mayo yet, you only have a couple days. And of course, don't forget your Mother's Day, Memorial Day coming up as well. All right.
You're up.
And Jason, I'll snatch your pictures up in just a second.
Hey, so again, Marty's fantastic. I've never been in one of his classes. I didn't learn something. So, 39 days left to get your CE. If you've not, y'all are killing me. Like you've been practicing for 11 months, not knowing what got changed on the contract. Y'all are killing me. So you've been practicing malpractice out there. So, 39 days and we're ticking. I'm on you. We're sending emails. We're following up and I'm trying to get you all where you should be. And come July 1st, just go on and sign up for the next one. Cause I don't want you to wait 11 months and 14 days and 7 hours till you get to the update for next year. I will say a couple of things that have come up. You guys, another thing that is prevalent on social media. I mentioned to you all, Commission is looking to start cracking down on social media. The law around advertising for BICs, the law is every single advertisement is out there. Your BIC is to approve. Now, think about that. Every single advertisement you use, I'm to approve. All agents, not just PBs. That law was written before Snapchat. Do you think I've seen someone Snapchat about real estate? There was no Instagram, there was no Facebook, there was no Twitter, that law was written when there was a Sunday paper for the home section. And the broker, the paper wouldn't run the ad until the broker signed off. So they're probably more than likely 100% chance looking at that law to say, we can put out a rule as a BIC or as a firm, and that rule is going to live with who? Because there's no way that I can watch every social media channel for 250 people. It's just not physically possible. Although I can give you the rules. Yes. 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 It should be on every post on some level. You like a hashtag KBW Central.
That page, it's automatically in the title. So like if somebody makes a post, if you make one.
That'll count.
It says Cindy Dudley. If you post everything through your business account, it says Cindy Dudley, Division of Keller Williams. you're fine.
That will work. That's fine. Yes.
Just make
If
sure everything's done when it says Keller Williams.
yes. So here's what I'm seeing a lot of. There's a great picture of a house I sold. It needs to have something. If you're drawing KW Central on there to do Jazzy, or you're doing Canva and you're adding docs or whatever you're doing, somewhere it needs to say KW Central. Technically, that's the firm you're affiliated with. And the commission looks at protecting the general public so that the general public's not a question of who do you report to, who are you with, if they needed to go through a complaint situation. So there's a kitchen with a KW fancy smancy typo instead of a finger script that I did walking in the car. And or if you got 6 photos, upload one of the logos as one of your photos. That will also be another way you could do it. So just make it one of your photos that you're posting. Just so that it's not confusion you know, who are you affiliated with?
And you can hashtag
KW Central, KW.
Post in your comments, hashtag KW Central, that's all we're doing.
That's probably me saying, hey, over here. Second thing is I would strongly look at your logo, your team names and logos and those kind of things. And yes, you may be Jason Scott Realty. That's not a firm. Like that's not a technical, you're under KW Central. So you're a firm under us. So technically it's Cindy Dudley Realty, still a division of KW Central. Yeah, but you're still under KW Central. And I'm not doubting that, but somewhere on your page, you better say KW Central, KW Central. So I'm trying to keep you all out of real estate jail and me attempting to protect you. So put it on there. It's what, 7 letters? Put it on there. Yes. Yes, if you're not doing it from your business page, it says Amanda Lynn KW Realty Central. That'll count. That's yes.
Is this because something got nailed in our?
This is because the commission put out some information about social media recently. And I do not want to be the firm that goes to present in Raleigh. Y'all keep me busy enough. Likewise, you can't post multiple firms. You can't be at one firm and post an advertisement for another because you may look as if, who do you work for this firm or that firm? So if you, likewise, someone asked me, hey, can I do a showing at Joe's firm across the street? Yes, you can. You need to say, I am Jason with KW Central, and I am going to host an open house for Joe's listing at Joe's firm. So there is clarity of who is who. So it can't be gray. You have, before you share someone else's listing or posting, you should have their written permission. So who owns the rights to the pictures? Who paid for them? They're copyrighted. If you paid for that graphic, that's your copyright. Yep. 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 Yeah, I'll pull up our office policy. Right. Yeah. Again, you just don't want gray. You just do not want gray. Gray don't work well. That would be in command or the homepage.
Agent resources.
Look at that. KWCentral.com, agent resources, agent logos. Look at those. Woo!
These are the exact files that were used to make the signs on the road. So they're definitely good.
Okay. Questions for me? You all blow me up all week. I know y'all got good ones. I answered something last night at 1:30 in the morning because I happened to still be up and I thought you may need the answer before I get up. So, all right. Oh, there's a great article on Facebook I posted about landlocked. So that was in Monday's legal Q&A. Every Monday on the Monday morning-ish, the NC Realtor sends out legal Q&A as the Monday rundown. First thing is great information. That's where we saw the social media information I've been talking about. But there was a landlocked article Those are directly to the attorneys that have been employed by NC Realtors. If often you ask me a question, and I say I'm going to run it by an attorney, often I partner with our NC Realtor hotline. That's free for any single one of you that pays to be a member of the Realtor Association. legal@ncrealtors.org. Shoot them an email, answer within 24 hours. So, yep, legal@ncrealtors.org. You'll have an answer within 24 hours or less. If you can also call, don't go into your whole description and what you got a problem with and everything else. Call and leave your name and number. They'll call you back. So.
Thanks, sir. You're much appreciated. So my portion of what I want to go over is just kind of open Q&A, town hall, happy time discussion. So I talked about these things with the ALC in our meeting last week. The top 5 topics, there were a big handful, this massive pool of KW agents, and they were asked, what top 5 topics do you need to know about, learn about? What are you intrigued about? Whatever. Lead generation was number 1, 17.3%. Wealth was 2, 15.1%. Leverage was 3rd at 12.2%. Running, scaling a business was 4th at 6.9%. Listings was last at 4.9%. This isn't to say this is what we're going to do. This is me just giving you ideas of what other people are saying they want to see. So whether it's training, whether it's team meetings, whether it's anytime we get together like this, this is just me saying, what do you want? What do you want to see? What do you want to learn about? If you look at, because one thing that I mentioned in the ALC meeting was nothing has changed in real estate in 30 years. It's lead generation, it's lead generation follow-up. The technology's changed and some of the processes has changed, but how to drive business really hasn't changed. So it's hard for, as a market center of our size, to come in here and just do the same thing over and over and over. That's where it gets boring. And that's when people stop showing up. So me having this meeting with you guys is so it doesn't become boring. I want to know what you want to know, what you want to do, what you want to do in here, what fun you want to have, what you want to learn about. So what do you not know that you want to know? What do you want to learn? And what do you want? Just start raising your hands and spitting stuff out. And then I'm going to start putting together calendars based on what you want. Jim. Okay. Okay. What else?
I was there too. They, one like, your age probably don't know what a gas pack is. Yeah. Like a cat.
Okay. What else do you want? And this doesn't have to be just lunch and learn stuff. This can be what do you want the team meetings to look like too? This is anytime we get together.
There's money to be made. Partner with one of these people. They pay good commission and they give bonus. And don't you know how to get in there because of the change. Like we usually have, you know, Horton, Eastside, Windsor, True. Yeah. So he would come in, be the lunch and.
So builder relationships. Got it. Jason's forehead just got red. relationships. What else? What else? This is your time to shine. You get to pick. Yes. Okay. Did everybody? So did everybody see? I haven't revisited it yet since I posted. Did everybody see the poll post? Raise your hand if you did not see the poll post. No, the poll post is about the pie in the face. You guys get to pick. Option 1 is everybody on the losing team gets a pie from everybody on the winning team. Option 2 is just the losing captain from the winning captain. Option 3, which is might be my favorite, just the losing captain from the entire winning team. So one human gets 17 pies to the face. Probably going to get my vote. Yes. Okay. Okay. All right. Yes, sir. Hey, shh. I've actually old acquaintance of mine owns his own gym, and I was talking to him a couple weeks ago. I ran into him in the parking lot of his facility, and he said that he would come he does body stress relief stuff through stretching and flexibility before you should ever lift a weight or do anything. But it's basically the weight room version of yoga and things that you can do at your house. And he would be more than happy to come in here and do something for an hour. We can advertise it in advance. We can use this room if y'all want to. You can get fit and drunk all in the same day at KW. What else? Do y'all want to make that a part of a section of Wellness Wednesday? Okay. Yeah. Or are you speaking my language? Finances. Health insurance. Self-paid benefits. Shh. Chloe. Carla. Yeah, estate planning. Sold. Do you think it would be easy for you to invite somebody that's not with us to stuff like this? Pretty much, or yes? Because here's what the culture is. Let's just have a moment. The culture is growing, right? And it's headed in the right direction. What we need to get better at is telling our story and telling it louder. We're not good at that again. We got to get better. That's what we have to get back to. There's not enough people singing the praises of the things that are going on inside of here. That could be my fault. That could be because I don't know what it is. But here's what we have to do is get better at doing it and inviting people in. That's why half the stuff, like with the top 20%, and we got to invite people to see what we're experiencing. I'm inviting other cappers from other firms to come here, Ashley and Kevin Lay in May and stuff like that, is because they have no idea. They think it's KW of old, and it's not. There's just so much with the command and with the technology and with, it's just nuts. So we got to figure out ways to get people around y'all, but around y'all around here is the purpose.
So that, like, if you have two people run together, you don't even have to say, like that, acknowledging where you are is just where you are. And like, it's trying to be where you want to be. And so that you're well, you're building. So that's
September 14th. Ethiel, September 14th. And that's going to be in here. And you've got sponsors and you're going to do food. Yes. What else? Now, here's what let me ask a deeper question. What topics do you want to have agent panels talk about?
the real stuff, like the good and maybe the beginning, like that. Where, what was the turning point in your business where you were like, I need to, it took me 8 years to get here, and this is kind of an
So an open, like almost like this, almost like an open Q&A panel with top agents. Okay. Okay. Yes.
Provide instruction on how to navigate these page, website links or whatever to get tax cards. Difficulty of doing them.
Yeah. There are a couple of things I know are coming, 1031 exchange class is coming.
Yeah, we're doing that. Are you guys doing that?
And then,
Yeah, those are exciting.
This is more along the lines of like morale and camaraderie
Okay.
I think that's potluck and Mexican and stuff like that. If it's something like that won't be bad. Not really. When would you have those days?
Like when are you thinking, like talking about?
When?
Like the summertime, like maybe a pop up event?
Yeah. That's why I was talking about.
Yeah.
Like a family reunion.
Talking about the way we just all get together and yeah. Kind of like the fall festival kind of thing, but on steroids. Bring your family, bring your people. We can get the sock puppets to do Keller Williams night. Oh, we can get that done. I'll have one of y'all jokers throw out the first pitch. Dudley dugout. So all right.
Have a new hire coming on to give them a mentor. Just someone, one of us that's been here for a few years or a lot of years or whatever, reach out to that person. And I know they have a sponsor. But I mean, and my sponsor was good, but I've heard, someone the sponsor might move on or what, I don't know, but to see if that would work out to have a mentor that's good. Great time. What'd you say? Great time to play PC coaching. That's what they're there for. Pretty awesome.
I think if we ever implemented something like that, it would have to be whoever's. I'd send out an email to the whole company and say who would like to volunteer to be a mentor if it came, and then get a list and then go at it, kind of back our way into that instead of just assigning. Yeah. Yeah. And I think there's pros and cons to both, obviously, and it's situational, but we have to push people. The stuff with the Ignites and the PB&Js and all that stuff, it's like we have got to keep pushing people to that, because every single thing that they could possibly need to know is a new agent. We have new, like Laura, raise your hand. Hey, Laura. So Laura's a new agent and you're a new agent. Laura, you just sold your what? How? First, second? When yeah. So when did I hire you? So I hired her in January. So we have new people like that who have never sold anything before that are plugging into this stuff that are on their third transaction already. That's not happening anywhere else. And that's not me at all. That's Jason. And that's PB&J, and that's Ignite coming back in house, and ALC teaching it, and it's stuff like that. That's huge. We got new agents selling houses in their first 3 contracts in their first 90 days. Like, that's a big deal. And I hired them all within 5 weeks of each other, 4 weeks of each other. And they're all, and then we hired Jason around close to the same time, and he just killed it. Yeah. And Ignite, it's coming when? June? So next month is going to be the next go round. Did you raise your hand? Yes, ma'am. That's awesome. Good.
Standard, code of ethics, things like that, we only get it every so often. And as soon as we leave that class, then somebody goes out and does exactly the opposite of what they just taught us how to do. And so, I mean, just, some maybe conversation around those sorts of things, just like Jason was talking about. Having the permission of the listing agent or the listing firm to share those sorts of things, I think would be great. The second thing is, what's going on in the market, like market stats, market trends. If my business is down, how am I compared to everything else? How am I compared to the local market? How am I compared to the state market? How am I compared to the national market? Is everybody down? Is it okay if I'm down a little bit? Kind of thing. Just look better. Because I mean, some people put those stats out monthly and they're wrong. I mean, sometimes they're just wrong. And I think that it's like, I mean.
Well, they strategically pick and post what they want people to see, right? Which is like, yeah. Yeah. So we get a language of the market center gets a language of real estate from the region, and then Mary fills it out for the market center. What I can do is have another column created for the individual. And then when Mary's done with it from the market center, I can just blast it out to the whole company, and you can fill your individual statistics that match those statistics. And that includes KWRI, that includes the region, that includes the market center, and then it'll be you. So if you, and all the first three before it gets to you are already color coordinated with all the accurate statistics. And then if you fill your own in there, you'll see exactly where you line up with everybody else. So.
All the time of different things, keeping front matters, all different kinds of things of trends that are going on. How down are mortgage? How many, what percentage are new mortgages down? How does that correlate to what's really going on in the market, and what is it forecasting?
Yeah, that's good stuff. Hey, and two, on that subject, one thing that I've seen them doing with other companies that y'all should get on board with doing is people like Tim Stratton, people with UHM. You get on a live Facebook feed, go Facebook Live with them for 5 minutes once a week and just say, hey, I'm Cindy Dudley. I'm sitting here with Julie Miller from UHM. What are rates looking like? What's the forecast? How are we looking? And just let her light it up for 3 minutes and go, we love you. Bye. Just wanted to update you. People love that stuff. That's a quick way to do it too. Get them, Jason.
That's when everything is fully live, fully integrated, the whole 9 yards. You will have the option. You don't know yet if it's going to be based on the firm or based on the individual to choose which platform you want to use. Matrix, Paragon, or Flex.
What? Hey, Paragon sucks. Yeah.
That sort of thing to kind of walk you through. But yeah, the full integration is supposed to be.
And no, there's a full suite of marketing coming with that. Advertising, communication, and they're going to be giving us like data reports and all kinds of things you don't have today for. So that's actually a great new information line for us to.
Real quick, we've been promoting this. I want Carla to give a 30-second snapshot of what you're getting ready to talk about, and then it's yours.
Hey gang, I'm Carla Campbell. I'm the agency market officer with Heritage Title. I am getting ready to do a class on foreclosures, short sales, and deed in lieu of foreclosures. So for those of you who are like, those things might be coming down the pipe, I wanted to get you guys prepared. So we're going to be talking about the what are all of those things, the how you guys can get involved and get clients who are in the process of maybe a short sale. And then just a few other little things that you need to know as agents if you come across one of those as a buyer's agent, what you need to prepare your clients for. So I hope you guys can stick around.
And that's not in the future, that's now.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, for some people it is definitely now. But yeah, please stick around. I'd love to see as many of you as possible in person. Thanks.
Appreciate y'all. Hey, the contest is live.